Why is no one obsessed with me? That's actually just annoying.
Priya, I think you begging for guys to be obsessed with you is the reason why guys aren't obsessed with you. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Love Island UK season 13 episodes 21 and 22. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. So, episode 21, I personally feel like there wasn't too much. Most of the episode was what was going on at the end with the dumping. So I'm going to try to get through these things as quickly as possible. Samraj comes down from the terrace and this man is just playing in Priya's face. She can sense that there has been a shift, that maybe he wants to rekindle things with Mika. And he's like, no, you have nothing to worry about. No, there's nothing. Then he's going to spend every waking moment complaining about Priya to everybody but Priya. I want to know, what's the point for Samraj? What is the point? Eventually, he's going to start being honest, but that honesty was initiated by Mika. I'm glad somebody decided to let Priya know what's going on. But this man, I think enough people liked Samraj to be like, okay, maybe he has some unsavory characteristics, but we can get over that. This behavior is absolutely inexcusable, in my opinion. There is nothing about Samraj that I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe, ew, you're gross. Moving on. Then we have Simba. He's fussing about, I don't think I like none of these boys. Simba is fussing about having to open the door for Angelista, and she's like, I mean, it's the chivalrous thing to do. And he's like, no, I know. With Simba, I'm not sure if it's just maturity or if this is who he is. I was trying to give him grace in the last episode, but some of y'all were right. Some of y'all were like, no, he was being manipulative by putting himself in punishment. And you know what? I could see that. I could see him. All I'm saying is I can see the nuance, okay? I think that this is a nuanced situation. However, even him being pissy about opening doors and stuff like that, I'm like, no, I think this is your nature. You don't like having to, prioritize women? I don't know. That yearning to be desired, Priya got it, Mika got it, Jasmine got it, Simba got it, Aiden got it. All these people want so badly for people to fawn over them, but they're not really putting in that effort to, pursue somebody, court somebody. I just don't understand. Then, Angelisa's going to keep him in the doghouse, and he's going to tell the guys, now that she's putting up a boundary, it's making her more attractive. Essentially, Angelisa, now that you have standards, the man actually respects you. And I'm glad that BB Rexa came in and told Angelisa what's up, because somebody needed to shake her, just shake her a little bit, because I don't know, Simba, no, he could go with Samraj. Then we have Chitty. He says he knows that there's something between himself and Angelisa, and I was like, oh, okay, I didn't pick up on anything, but fine. Then this man is going to say, are you happy that I rate you? Somebody in the comments, you're allowed to say what you want to say. But somebody in the comments did say, I don't see the point in Chitty putting on the flirt when girls don't like him or whatever like that. Mika specifically wasn't feeling him, so why should he flirt? Okay. Apparently he can sense something between himself and Angelista, and he's going to ask her, are you happy that I rate you? He actually needs to work on flirting. I'm not joking. Him trying to be nonchalant, whatever, and I mean this with all due respect. I think the way Chitty sees himself is not the way we see Chitty. So he thinks he can pull the same moves that other people can, but unfortunately he can't. So I need him to refine his flirting, because whatever this is, it ain't. I'm still stuck on how do I beg you? Oh my gosh. Who says that? No, nah. Chitty, nah. Fast forward to the bedtime. Tina's asking for back scratches in bed. Aiden's gonna say no. We later found out the reason why he said no is because back scratches are reserved for relationships. And he's like, why would I be intimate with you in that way if you haven't even kissed me? So in bed, she started to kiss him. She didn't like the kiss. The girls co-signed that he's not the best kisser. But I'm just like, scratching somebody's back is, can I see where it's coming from? Maybe. But every day has to be kissing. Also, like, there's other ways to be, you know, to have an intimate moment with somebody, to share intimacy, to have affection. Like, it doesn't have to be tonguing somebody down. Either way, these two were never compatible, so I'm glad it's not working out. Then we fast forward to them voting for who they think is the least compatible, and they know that somebody's going to get dumped, or two people are going to get dumped. So 4 votes went to Hallie and Tommy because of Tommy. 4 votes went to Mika and Chitty because they ain't got nothing going on. And then 1 vote went to Aiden and Tina. Here goes Mika with the crocodile tears talking about, I don't even know why I'm here anymore, guys. I'm just struggling so hard. Maybe I do need to go home. And for a second, I was like, oh, okay, you know what, Mika? It's good for you to be introspective, for you to realize, you know what? This process ain't working for me. Let me just see myself out. But then upon reflection, because she switched up fast, upon reflection, I was like, oh, that yearning to be desired. You remember when she said, oh, I never get denied? Like, whoever she wants, she gets. That yearning to be desired is not just from men. It's just in general. Because she wanted to have a moment where people are like, no, Mika, we love you, Mika, stay, Mika. And sure enough, they did. Oh, you know, the girl was lapping it up. She's like, you're right. I am genuine. I do deserve to stay. Me and Hallie should stay. All right, girl. Rightfully so, Chitty was upset because he was like, yo, Tommy, you've been here for a long periodically time. You ain't making nothing shake. I deserve to stay. I think I agree with that rationale, but also he hasn't made anything shake either, and he's had a chance, so it could apply to both, but it applies more to Tommy for sure. And then Hallie is annoyed because she's like, I'm here at the bottom because y'all think that Tommy's behavior is deplorable, but now when it's time to vote, y'all are voting for Tommy to stay. How does that make sense? Especially when the villa decided it's fair to keep 1 bombshell and 1 OG. These people sent both the OGs home based on relationships. Now, typically, I would get into Simba's ass because I'm tired of the emotional, unregulated behavior. It's actually too much, but honestly, I'm realizing the only emotionally regulated man I have seen from the seasons I've watched, Mike and Ovi. Every other guy, they're just like, but in this case, I do understand Simba. Y'all are saying this is the principle that we're going to stand on. It comes time to stand on that principle. Y'all change it based on relationships and stuff. What is that about? So what's the point of us trying to put our principles on the line if we're not even going to stick to them? Like, save the bullshit. Just say, hey, I'm voting for my friend. Hallie was at the bottom because of Tommy. Now it comes time to save somebody and everybody's picking Tommy? That doesn't make sense. After the vote, you have some guys talking to Tommy saying, okay, this is your time to fix up. This is your time to do things better. Aiden's going to open his mouth and say, no, but I understand you. You know, the girls just don't get it. God forbid a group of women don't want to be treated like playthings. And God forbid they decide, you know what? This guy is going to just mess around with the girls. He needs to go. The rationale made sense. There's no, oh, they just don't understand. No, you want them to understand, Tommy, because you're on the same type of time. So you want your behavior to be excused as well. Ooh, BB Rexa comes in. BB Rexa, when did this girl get stacked? I said I need to add her to my body goals folder because yes, mama. Oh, she a brick house. Woo, she look good. So she comes in, she says Jasmine is her baddie. Jasmine is a baddie. I can't take that from her. But her stock for me has dropped. Absolutely it has. But she is a baddie. She is a baddie. That will not change. She also says, Angelista, I love you, girl, but he got to stay in that doghouse. I said, thank you, BB. You better let this girl know how we feel. That's how we feel. You need to let him grovel. Make him grovel more. She calls out Simba. You're being bad. Stop being bad. I'm glad that he knows we can see you. And on the topic of we can see you, oh, guys. Have you seen the videos that Simba was sending to influencers basically saying, hey, I'm going on Love Island. Let me know what I should do. Can't wait to meet up with y'all on the outside. That's me paraphrasing, but essentially that was the sentiment.
Oh, you're good. Oh, you're blessed. Listen, the boy's about to go in the villa. Take it easy on me, though. I beg. Hey, I beg. Ain't got no media training. Ain't got no PR training. Just trying to find love, man. But hey, hopefully you can chop it up after I'm back. And yeah, man, take care.
Any grace I had for you, Simba, like, it's done. It's done. And I'm glad, I think it was in the previous episode, in episode 21, where Angelisa was like, yeah, you talk about being the girl that you prayed for, but you go around kissing other girls. How does that make sense? If I'm truly the girl who you see as the one, you need to treat me as such. I'm putting a little bit more vim in it, but he got the message. Then we have Simba, who takes Angelista to the terrace, and he's like, you know, I just want to focus on you.
What's up? Why are you laughing?
Because what are you gonna tell me?
What do you mean? You called me out, bro, in front of everyone. I'm just there, like, just my knees trembling, even after my fuck-ups. I could be like, yeah, Simba, hold that. Do you know what I mean? So, I'm rocking with you and only you.
Or is it only because she called it a day? You ain't got no choice now.
Like, right now, there's no one else I want. You know, developing these feelings every day. Like, a couple feelings and stuff. I'm sorry.
For?
Misbehaving.
I'm not gonna be too hard on Angelisa. The girl has had a rough run. Everybody's coupled up. I'm sure you feel left out. Like, you do still like the guy, obviously. I would have made him grovel a bit longer. But she doesn't have options. She really hasn't had any viable options. And she's just gotta, you know, suck it up to Akasa. And I hope they send somebody who is her spec. Send two people that are her spec. And it's mutually beneficial because Jasmine is there as well. And so is Mika. We know all them girls got the same type. So please give Angelisa a chance. Calvin decides he wants to make things exclusive with Jasmine. And Aiden is like, hold on. Slow your roll.
I love what you have. I'm actually jealous of what you have, in a way. As soon as you put a label of exclusivity on it...
Next step's boyfriend, girlfriend. I feel like we're at that point anyway.
You're further along than both.
They're meant to follow the brain and not just the heart all the time.
Sometimes it is good to talk to people around you. Obviously, I've got my brother in here, which is a massive thing.
I do think it's a bit early for them to be exclusive, but not because of how long they've been together. It's because of the lack of depth in their relationship. The fact that they're still unable to truly know how the other feels and they read into things a lot. I'm thinking, yeah, I don't think you guys are ready to be exclusive. I think until you explore other options and whatever, and you are so certain about each other, you need to give yourself, you know, the freedom to do so. And it's harder if you have a title on it. The only thing I did not like was him siding with his brother kind of proves that he's often in his head and he cannot just be definitive about things. If you like the girl, you like the girl, just follow your feelings. But yeah, I need them to have deeper conversations. Even if he was to go and talk to Jasmine to say, honestly, I'm feeling the urge for us to be exclusive, but there's things that we need to strengthen in our relationship before we get there. Even that, I really would appreciate. But it's like, he just listened to the boys and was like, no, you're right. I think you could be on the way to being exclusive. You just need more depth in your relationship. And that's on both sides, for Jasmine and for Calvin. Something about their connection they both can't fully buy into, and they have to discover why that is. Then we have Samraj and Priya. They speak at the fire pit. You know, he's saying, oh, Priya's giving me everything that I need, blah, 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 you know, but she's not you, basically. And here goes Mika, the same speech she gave Simba. I don't want you to ruin what you have going on with her, though. And that's her... She was not lying when she said she leads people on, because if you truly like this guy, why are you encouraging him sticking with this girl and you essentially being a side piece? That doesn't make sense to me. Unless I'm misunderstanding, one of you guys can correct me, but to me that doesn't make any sense. If you like this guy, you're like, listen, I understand you have to sort out your feelings or whatever, but ultimately, I do want it to be me and you again. Let it be that. But no, I want to, you know, do my little whatever with you for the time being, and then when I'm done, I can go off. And you still have your backup, and you can't blame me for cutting off your other options, because I never intended on staying here long term. And here this girl's gonna say, oh yeah, you know, I really struggle to express myself, and everything is just so overwhelming. Samraj is buying it hook, line, and sinker. Samraj, you've already been down this road with Mika. You want to be shown the lesson again? Oh, okay. Aiden complains to Tina about the whole back scratch thing. He says, I do need more intimacy before I give you those like relationship type actions. I don't know. So then they make out and she's like, wow, that was better because I did tell the girls that you suck at kissing. Which I fully believe. I don't think he's a great kisser. Then we have Priya and Mika, who finally have a conversation. All till now, Priya has been saying, you know, Mika is my closest girl, or one of my closest girls in here. I fear when you watch the season back, you will not agree.
Hi, Queenie. It's not like amazing news for you. No, okay, well, let me explain.
Oh, fuck
Priya.
no, I can't.
Obviously, I love you so much, and you're literally one of my favorite people in here.
Yeah.
He's like, obviously, you've hurt me in the past. He's obviously very hesitant. I felt standing up there today. I do feel like I care about him in that kind of way.
I hate that Priya has been gaslit for all these days. I mean, now they're finally deciding to be honest, but even with the honesty, she thinks that this is something that they're thinking about when they've already made the decision. They want to explore each other. It's just that Priya's in the way. It sucks for Priya because she's later going to complain that guys aren't obsessed with her and whatever. And I mean, I do think a part of that is because she wants it so badly. Like, that's why you're not going to get it. Guys do like a little bit of a chase. It's just the truth. They do like a bit of a chase. You have to not be emotionally unavailable, but give them something to work for. If you're just laying it on a platter, you might push a lot of guys away. That's a problem. Show your intentions, but let the guy, you know, search for you. Like, literally and figuratively, let the man actually have a yearning for you. And if she steps away from Samraj, she will notice the man doesn't search for her. Every time she's wondering, where's Samraj? With Mika, because that's where he wants to be. I need her to pay attention. So fast forward to the bed. Oh, Samraj is going to say, you know, you're a very sexual person. In my opinion, I think this is him trying to say, hey, I'm not trying to do all that, you know, but he can't just get the cojones to say it. So he's trying to like put a feeler out there, and she's like, is it bad? Oh, no, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad. And then they start to do something under the covers. This man says to everybody he can, I have the ick. Here you are under the covers with a girl that you have an ick for. Like, how does that make sense? Speaking of getting the ick, Yasmin and Lorenzo had a conversation before bed, and he's like, yeah, you know, I kind of missed the chaos from before we were coupled up. And she's like, I could give you chaos. I could pretend not to like you or something. And he's like, yeah, I don't know. Just, I kind of missed that time. I'm glad that just before Yasmin went to bed, she was realizing, oh, this is how he acts on the outside. This is why he's only been in situationships. He's never been in a relationship. I'm adding extra words. She didn't say all that, but you know, that's what she meant. And she's realizing he's going to sack me. He's going to get rid of me as soon as he is bored. And at least she has the wherewithal to read between the lines of what he was saying. I really did appreciate that. Then in the morning, Priya is looking for Samraj. Baby girl, Samraj is where he really wants to be. Beside Mika.
Where's my coffee? On a serious note, Annie.
She was actually cussing you just now.
God forbid a man has a shave, has a shower.
I didn't want to leave.
Don't know you don't normally get upset. That shows you want to still be here. Do you know two people just keep coming back to each other?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Do you need to try before you buy?
Really good last night, I'm not gonna lie.
Did it make you want to?
I copped a feel.
I keep telling all the girls they need to cop some
Did
feels.
you cop a feel?
Of course.
Samraj is sick. Mika is sick. And low-key, I want to throw Jasmine in there too, because Jasmine and Mika are close, are they not? So Jasmine knows what Mika has been doing. Jasmine knows what Mika's up to, Mika's state of mind, like everything. And she would know further because Kavin has been talking to Samraj a lot. Samraj has been confiding in Kavin. And I'm sure they have the little pillow talks and stuff. They talk about other couples. So she knows what's going on. But here she is egging Priya on to cop a feel with Samraj. To try before she buys. For what purpose? For what purpose? You know the man doesn't like her. You know your friend is trying to push up on her mans. Why are you trying to make her do? No. Like, they actually want this girl to be embarrassed. Tommy wants to have a conversation with the girls to clear the air. Honestly, this was a waste of time. He was explaining away his behavior, and then he was like, well, there's other guys here who've done worse than me, and blah, blah, blah. Stop. Literally stop. Are you here to clear the air, or are you here to shift blame onto other people? I'm confused. The girl's like, we don't think you're a bad guy, but you just do, like, you know, bad things, which, no, at some point, if you're going to keep doing those bad things, I'm led to assume that you are a bad person. He claims he didn't know the effect that it would have, like, oh, I didn't intend to hurt anybody, I didn't intend to whatever, but you had already done this. You had seen the aftermath and you chose to do it again anyways. Even as those kisses were happening with the girls, specific girls told you, hey, I don't think this is a good idea. Hey, kissing actually means something in this villa. And if you thought it wasn't that big of a deal, if you didn't intend to hurt people, why lie? Why lie? Why downplay your behavior? If it truly wasn't wrong, you'd be able to stand in it. So then he's going to use Simba as an excuse to say, well, what Simba did with the whole hideaway thing, that was worse than what I did. Can we not? Ugh. So Angelisa, she goes to Simba. She lets him know, like, hey, by the way, you were used as an example. And Simba's not happy about it. But Angelisa made a good point. This is going to be held over your head no matter what you do. It sucks coming from Tommy because he's using you as a scapegoat here. But the fact of the matter is, next time, think before you do. Think before you speak. Because whether it's Tommy or somebody else, everybody has a right to hold that over your head because what the hell were you doing? Here goes Aiden saying he wants closure with Yasmin. If y'all have watched me for long enough, you know I don't believe in closure, and this is exactly why. Every time he wants closure with somebody, he's really just trying to reopen that door. To me, closure is BS. You know why it's done. I know why it's done. Let's move on. And moving on, we're going to Never Have I Ever. Lola and Sean have both had a roster of over 10 people. Guys, I didn't catch everything, just to make it clear, but that part is true. Calvin and Tommy have both had threesomes. I think they're the only ones who drank to that. Lola, Jasmine, Angelista, Priya, Sean, and Mika have dated celebrities. Mika said, I've not only dated footballers over there in the UK, I've also dated some NFL footballers. I said, oh, It's making sense. It's not a problem that she's dated those guys, but it's making sense why Mika has this like, oh no, I don't get shut down. If I desire you, you must desire me back. Like, it's not negotiable. It makes sense. It does make sense. Mika, Samraj, Aiden, Yasmin, Ellie, and Lorenzo have all wanted to rekindle an old flame in the villa. Aiden implies that he's currently considering something, and we know this is not going to sit well with Tina. Yasmin shuts that down. Yasmin was like, you had an opportunity when you called me Ellie the second time, but after the third time, it's a wrap. We're done. Samraj sips for being two-faced in the villa, but he directs it at Lorenzo. He says he misjudged Lorenzo. Drink again. You're being two-faced right now to Priya. Mika, you drink too. Ugh. Then we have Aiden and Tina who drink to being coupled up with somebody who wasn't their first choice. Aiden speaks up about Yasmin again, and Tina is confused because she's like, you just said I was your priority, so why are you acting like you're not trying to be here? Now, didn't I say, Tina, don't think you special? Don't think you special, mamas. Like, you've seen how this guy acts. You've heard how this guy acts. She's now going to tell us she's been interested in Samraj and Tommy. I ain't seen her speak to either one of them. So, yeah. Anyways, Samraj, Tina, Priya, Mika, and Lorenzo drink to being tempted by someone they're not coupled up with. Lorenzo says that he took Jasmine for granted when they were coupled up, and sometimes he wonders if they could, start something back up. We didn't really see a big reaction from Jasmine, but there was a reaction. And I'm wondering if we're ever going to touch on the fact that they both were entertaining the idea of recoupling, but okay. And then lastly, we have Tina who drank to regretting a kiss, which pissed Aiden off. Listen, we know with how he dealt with Jasmine, he does not like an outspoken woman, a strong-willed woman. Tina is that and then some. So early in the episode when Calvin was like, I don't know, she's just not your type, it's just not going to work out. Funny how that is now that the girl is standing up for herself. When y'all saw her as a plaything, oh, she was just his speed. Now all of a sudden she has some kind of autonomy. Oh, she's not your type. I knew it was always going to be. Tina is all that and then some. I hope that she continues to give Aiden the business. Run him down. Run him to the ground. Wear him out. Wear him out. I'm enjoying it. We didn't get a preview, but I hope the cost is coming soon. I need something to shake the villa up. So as always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.